It has. It's been the loss of market confidence that has essentially done for the mini budget and now done for Kwasi Kwarteng as Chancellor of the Exchequer. It is imperative for governments to maintain that confidence. The government has lost it. They now need to do everything that they can to regain it. And when we are borrowing as much money as we are, you need to make sure that the people who are lending it to you are essentially content, trust you, are prepared to do so, without charging a risk premium. And that, unfortunately, is the position that we've found ourselves in, that the sustainability of our public finances has been damaged by decisions that the government have made, and now they're having to reverse as much of that as possible to try and get that confidence back.
Now, in terms of what's just happened in the last 24 hours, there was a rumour that there was going to be yet another U-turn, particularly on corporation tax, and the markets have reacted very positively to that. We're all speculating that this is actually what's going to happen in the press conference the Prime Minister is going to give, and that throwing her Chancellor under a bus, as she's just done, and asking for his resignation is an indicator of that. But if she doesn't, this could be a whole other ride that we're in for now, isn't it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that she will be doing that, because otherwise, the markets this afternoon are going to be extraordinarily turbulent. It's a really important statement for the Prime Minister, delivering that and then watching what the market reaction is going to be crucial. If she gets this wrong, then I think it's game over for her as well. They really need to make sure that by the time she completes her press conference this afternoon, the markets are left with much higher levels of confidence than previously. They have, as you say, they've already priced in the increase in corporation tax. If anything, I think the government needs to go beyond that, and it needs to reassure the markets that it is really serious about its credibility. It's why I think probably in the end it was inevitable that Kwasi Kwarteng was going to have to go, because part of reassuring the markets is having a Chancellor of the Exchequer who the markets have confidence in. Clearly Kwasi was having difficulty in delivering that.
Now, there are some within the party who are deeply uneasy at how things have panned out, that say that, this idea of economic liberalism, the ideology behind some of this is exactly where the Conservative Party should be. But in terms of, how this has panned out, this idea that the kind of Adam Smith Institute, IEA kind of thinking that Kwarteng and Truss had going into this, none of that seemed to take into account that Treasury orthodoxy exists for a reason, that markets can have an opinion. Like it seemed as if this was an experiment done in a bubble when the country's economy is not in a bubble.
Well, I would agree with you there. Look, you can take the view that we should have high tax and high spending, or low tax and low spending, but in the end, the sums have got to add up. You just can't take a risk with the public finances in that way. And if you pursue a policy that loses market confidence because you don't have sustainability in the public finances, essentially the numbers don't add up, you exclude the Office of Budget Responsibility from the process, so you don't have any official numbers anyway. You undermine institutions, you criticise the Bank of England, you sack the permanent secretary to the Treasury. All of this adds up, and a sense that there is a lot of wishful thinking going on, that ideology is put ahead of practicality. What happens in the end is you see that loss of confidence, and that's deeply damaging for the country. It's going to be hard to get that confidence back. Today is about a start of that, and when the Prime Minister speaks at 2:00, she has got to come forward with sufficient proposals that, politically painful, even humiliating it may be, the market sense that this is now a government, belatedly, that is taking the public finances seriously, taking the market seriously, and the UK is a trusted country.
So
And she's got.
take us into the Treasury now, because you worked in there for a really long time. The Chancellor has gone. The Prime Minister's about to stand up and say some stuff that is crucially important. The Chief Secretary the Permanent Secretary, in terms of the civil service side of things, got dispatched 5 weeks ago. We've got a new one that was only announced this week, I think. Who's running the ship? What happens now? Who's applying troops to task? Who's setting people their objectives? And if the rumours that we're hearing that Jeremy Hunt's going to be the new Chancellor are true, he's not even in the country at the moment. So there is a real gap of authority at the very time that we need it, isn't there?
There is, but in a way, the question is quite simple. What do we have to do to restore market confidence? The people who can answer that, probably best placed within government, are within the Treasury. They are the Treasury officials, and they will answer to the Prime Minister, who's the First Lord of the Treasury. And this is the answer. This is what you need to do. I have to say, I think it's a huge pity that Tom Scholar, who understands the markets perhaps better than any other official in this country, is not in place. But James Bowler, who's replaced him, is a very good man. But the Treasury, will be saying this is what you need to do, and to some extent, the Prime Minister is now the prisoner of the markets, and to some extent, the irony here is that she is the prisoner of the Treasury, because it is the Treasury who will be telling the Prime Minister precisely what they need to do, and they really do have to err on the side of caution.
Exactly, and any new Chancellor is completely unsackable. And has total authority over the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will be practically captive. If the rumours are true, if it is Jeremy Hunt, if my memory serves me right, you backed him in the leadership against Boris. You've worked closely with him. What does he bring to the table as a prospective future Chancellor?
What he brings to the table is a vast amount of ministerial experience. 9 years as a Secretary of State. He has got a calm, phlegmatic character. He's not going to be that easily rattled. He hasn't worked in an economic role previously. He's culture, media and sport and health and foreign secretary, but he's got a lot of Whitehall experience and political nous. And I think he will understand what the task is ahead, which is about reassurance. And I think he'll bring that. And as you say, Ruth, he's in a strong political position. I mean, it is extraordinary that we're on to our fourth Chancellor of the Exchequer in less than 4 months. That does not normally happen. And moving to a fifth would obviously be very, very difficult.